All right, what is up, everyone? Stephanie here. Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing to you how we scaled this coach from 20K to 100K months, and how we scaled from a little bit of profit to almost $500,000 or euros in profit in just 1 year. And I'm going to show you the high roast proof. I'm going to show you the strategy, because I wanted to make this video for any one of you that is either an agency owner or maybe a coach or a course creator and actually wants to learn how we're using AI ad systems, but also proven strategies that have already been working for more than 10 years in the marketing space to efficiently help our clients, because I still run my own agency, of course, next to my own coaching business, how we help them scale and in return build our own business and make it even better. So it can go either ways. Either you're an agency owner looking to help your clients better, then this is for you as well, so you can learn how to help them better, right? If you're a coach or a course creator, this can help you also streamline your process into your business and learn how we've utilized these things for this client so you can start using it for yourself too. So without any further ado, I'm going to be going through the things quite quickly because I want to make it as efficient as possible for all of you watching this video. So most agency owners and coaches, from what I see, get stuck at 20K or maybe a little bit less, around 10K or 20K per month, relying on referrals, unpredictable lead flow, and outdated sales strategy. I see so many coaches, so many agency owners getting stuck at this level because at a certain moment, just forget what worked, or they don't seek out automated systems that can work for them. Because going from 0 to 10K is all about just working hard, just putting in the numbers, getting out those outreaches. But from 10K to 50K or 100K, it's not so much about only putting in more effort. It's about finding a system that can work for you predictably every single day, and then put more budget towards that, put more effort towards that, so it can grow without you having to specifically work hard. That's either having a sales team or it's either having a paid ads team, which is ads, right? Sophia was no different. So completely, we changed her approach. That's when things started changing for her. So in 2024, she scaled from 20K to 100K per month and made 419,000 profit. Now, I'm just going to share with you the high row stats, just so you know that I'm not BSing. These are real high row stats. You can see here, I can change it. It's not a screenshot or anything, right? You can see here, boom, I'm clicking here. I'm tagging myself. You can see here the report dashboard. Now, here are the profits, right? So about 495K profit last year, right? And we've booked almost 1,693 calls, almost 20,000 leads, and 3,000 sales were made. So insane numbers, right? Actually insane numbers. But here's the thing. She's selling a mid-ticket offer, right? Maybe a little bit on the lower end of the scale. But we were mainly caught with a problem where we didn't have something that could repeatedly get us sales. And how we did it is exactly how I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you today. So step by step, how we did it with proof. No BS, just real results and value I want to add to you. Unlike other gurus, I'm not going to be adding any call to actions or anything like that. If you found this video valuable, just, I'll ask you for some thoughts. That's it. Here's Sophia and me at a mastermind that I had with my community pretty much last year in December in 2024, which was sharing how she used content to pretty much leverage, her audience, and how she used that for herself, but then how we used our system to actually use that content and the audience that came to that content to actually get them to book a call and also become a client. So before she hit 100K per month, this was her situation. So she was stuck at 20K because she was relying mainly on referrals, but also only on her content. But having content and having an audience is one thing. If you only have content and only have an audience, you don't have a predictable acquisition system. Okay. So what you need, because it was with her the same thing, this is her profile, right? And from her profile, she has quite a lot of views. Yeah, she has about 117,000 followers, you can see here, but she didn't have a system that could actually convert these people if they watch the content and they go to her bio, for example, or to some place where she can promote it in her stories. We didn't have that. From her having the content, it didn't mean that she had a predictable system to get clients. So that's exactly what we did, but I'll get into that in a second. She was also spending hours on outreach, DMing people, and mainly I would say just only DMing. Cold was a little bit of it, but it was mainly just DMing people, trying to get them to convert from content to pretty much, a call, a client or whatever. But here's the thing. If you do that the entire time, it takes a lot of time. You need to have a setter that is in place that is doing that the entire time. It costs a lot of time. Cost per book call was too high and the lead quality was weak because people need to be nurtured in the chat and then sent to pretty much book a call. But that took so much time that still people booked who weren't qualified. So she had no clear path to scaling. Everything was manual and growth felt pretty much impossible. And then she came to us because this is where most agency owners and coaches struggle. They know they need to grow. They don't have a repeatable system to get consistent, high quality clients. Here is what we did for her and some lessons you can take away from that. So here's how we fixed it. First, we rebuilt her offer to sell itself. Okay. So we went into her offer and we said, you know what? You have a great audience. There are other people selling the similar thing that you're doing, but we need to position ourselves as the premium solution. We need to play into that audience, do exactly what they want, and do what's already working, but replicate that into a predictable system. And something that we did was very creative, and I'm going to share with you that. And it's something specific that works for her, okay, and wouldn't work for someone else. She improved her delivery as well. So when people join, they get into a group, and from that group, people get nurtured. They get the assistance, the help, the support, and then from that support, they can pretty much get the help to learn how to start a business. She improved that, so that they also refined her offer so well that closing calls pretty much became effortless. Her offer was clear. This is what you get, and we scaled up with one offer, one specific offer that was getting this amount of results. Not two, not three, one offer. Okay, so most agencies and coaches struggle because their offers unclear or not positioned as essential. You don't need 5 offers. You can scale with one offer and pretty much get those results. I've seen people scale to 50K a month with one offer in a really niche down, for example, physiotherapy practice niche, and then just use one additional offer to get to 100K. But before that, they didn't even need it. So you don't need more offers. You need a well-working offer, and that could be even one. So once we did that, we went into the AI-powered ads because that's what we're all about. Everything is about AI these days. We also love AI, and we're using it for all of our clients. So what we did is we, got into the Hyros pretty much system, and we set that up. So once we did that, we had one campaign alone that generated a 222x return on ad spend, and cost per book call dropped to 28 euros. So if you go to Hyros, and check it out here, we had pretty much like cost per leads of 10, 48 euro cost per sale on a product that costs, around 1K. And when we set that up, we pretty much were getting people and unique customers, so that's new customers, at a price of 165. That means it's almost a 9x return on everything that we were doing. So 4.5 ROAS almost on everything, considering the cost as well. But insane results. Okay. And what we did in terms of the ads is fairly simple, but it worked for her because it's really specific. This is what I have to say. When you're looking to get a predictable system, not everything will work for you what works for everyone else. People will try to replicate, for example, our ads or anyone else's ads. But the reason that won't work is because you don't know what works well for us on the inside out. You can try to replicate, but you might get a tiny bit of the results. And what we did with her is we used AI-driven targeting, mainly through meta ads, to find buyers on a profile who were ready to book calls. And the way we did that by leveraging her audience. She already had a great audience on her posts. So what we did is we used this and we leverage it. So for example, if she has all of these views, we can make a retargeting campaign, retarget all of these people and send them through pretty much to the new funnel that we have. And then the predictable system will do its own thing because they're already warm with her. We can have these people that have interacted with her multiple times and then pretty much engaged with her, and only them be sent to that specific predictable system. So if I click on one video of her, you'll see that she's talking to herself in a way, right? It's like a TikTok style video, but these ones work very, very well for her. So the only thing we did in the beginning is we had her use this method, use this, concept of what she's already doing, which is working, and we know that it's working. We had her take this, replicate it into an ad script that we created for her, and we used that, and then pretty much send people to that new predictable system. That's the only thing we did. And the reason why it worked so amazingly well is because we pretty much had a system that was already working. So instead of us trying to figure out something else or try different types of ads or whatever, we used only that and pictures of her, and that's it, because people were already familiar with her, and we were only running retargeting ads. We didn't even have to go to the cold side. Now, with other people that are doing completely cold, we need to have a different approach, but with her, it was pretty straightforward. Now, automated lead nurturing turned cold leads into warm appointments. As I said, pretty much what we did is we also had AI set up on the back end to automate, to help with the lead conversion. When people signed up, we always had them, go through an email sequence, an SMS sequence, and a couple of other sequences that could also help them through that. And there was no manual prospecting anymore. She stopped chasing clients and built a system that attracted them automatically. So we built this system for her. This is pretty much the landing page of a webinar. It's a training for 55 minutes, how to pretty much start an online business and start earning money. And this works so well for her, and it doesn't even look that fancy. Furthermore, it looks really basic, but it works so well because she already had an audience, but our ad system just amplified what was already working before we went into a cold ad strategy, where we're also testing similar ads, but also a couple of different ads, which also worked really well for her to send people traffic immediately to this specific page. Now, with that being said, when it comes down to what we did for her as well, and on the end of the pretty much ad side of things, Hyros lets us know, like, okay, main things that we did. Of course, as I said, it's meta ads, and we did a total revenue of 1.2, and the profit was 495 only based on meta ads. So you could say we pretty much cracked the code on meta ads because we got 1,693 calls, which is an amazing amount. And on top of that, what also happened is we also built a sales system. So I went in and I looked at her. Okay, I looked at her system. I was like, okay, great. Well, you're still kind of involved in sales. There's one person that is involved in your sales that's doing appointment setting, but you're really dependent on automatic sales, because you got to keep in mind this system that we built for her was spitting out automatic sales. The system wasn't even giving her people that wanted to book a call. It was just going automatic. But then maybe somewhere, beginning of the year, I would say Q2, we went ahead and installed the sales team with her. Setting up, the webinar funnel was one thing. It pre-qualified people. But what we needed, people are really skeptical. We needed a way to get people on a call and then convert them from the call to a client as well. So we had something automatic and something that was a little bit more manual, but that was still needed without her having to be involved. So what we did is we had live selling replaced with an automated process, which was the webinar that we set up. But on top of that, we delegated closing calls, because at the webinar, we added at the end that they could book a call. 3 sales reps we added, allowing her to focus on growth. And with those 3 sales reps, these 3 sales reps are getting anywhere from, a total of, for all 3 of them, more than 200 calls per month. Say 150 to 200 calls per month. And they started closing people as well really easily, because people only need that small nudge to pretty much get started with the program. So if you are still doing every call yourself, you're limiting your ability to scale. And I'm telling you this specifically if you're doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month. If you're doing less than that, do the sales yourself. But if you're doing these numbers, you're really wasting time, to be honest. Okay? So that's pretty much a summary. We rebuilt our offer, which is already good, by the way, but we rebuilt it. We kept it really simple. We set up AI-powered ads and lead generation. We set up a proven system, which is a webinar. We set up 3 sales reps. We did all of that in less than a period of, I would say, 3 or 4 months. Okay. And then what we did is we worked on retention. So we extended her client retention from 3 to 12 months by improving the program. She went ahead and made a brand new program and then helped people, inside of the program get better results. We introduced upsells and referral incentives to increase lifetime value, especially the upsells. We added a lower ticket program, another program that can be added. We added her coaching on the top that could also be upsold, and a couple of different things that could be added to actually get more out of one specific client that we've gotten, which pretty much potentially means that we would lower the cost per sale even more, especially those from the unique customers. If we can squeeze out more out of one customer, that's something you should always be looking to do. How can I get the most out of my best customers? If you can get more out of them because they're invested in you, they will be easier someone to sell to. Then that's what you want to be looking for, because they have been proven to spend money with you, so they would be willing to do it again, right? So removed operational bottlenecks, no technical things that you need to look on, no marketing things, no technical complexities, whatever. We take care of that. So the business could scale beyond her own capacity, and she now just works, I would say, a couple of hours a day if she wants to. She just posts content, does the stories, all those things. while her team, aka us on the back end, and systems handle the rest. And that's what you want. You want a predictable system. You don't be, reliable on all of these small nitty-gritty things. You want to be having something that can run 24/7. Okay. So all in all, that's pretty much how we've taken her from a point where she was to the point where she's now by utilizing these systems. So one thing you can take away from this video, hopefully, is that if you don't have a predictable system like this, if you're a coach and you don't have a video sales letter or some sort of webinar if you're selling low ticket or mid ticket, or if you don't have a simple funnel that can have a predictable lead flow or a predictable system to generate cold leads into warm hot leads that are ready to buy, then you're wasting money and wasting time. If you're an agency owner that doesn't have a predictable system like a VSL or a direct booking page where you're sending traffic to book calls into warm, hot prospects, you're also wasting time and energy. So that is one thing you should really take away from this video. Build that out for yourself. Build out a system that can work predictably for you so you don't have to be in your business the entire time. Second thing is, if you are working all by yourself and you're not, you are doing 10, 20, 30, 40 per month, you should be looking at having a sales team as well. If you already have the lead flow, get a sales team in place, get a setter in place, get a closer in place, but get good ones in place. So you can make sure that whilst you are, working on marketing on your own business and coaching your clients, those are basically two things you should be doing as a CEO. Marketing, getting more in front of the people of your right audience, and also pretty much coaching your clients. If you even need to do that, because you could also get client success coaches. But those are the main two things that you need to do as a CEO. If you're not doing these two things, you're wasting time on things that are just not going to move you forward. So you've got to make sure that you're doing all of these things. When you do these things, only these two things, and remove all the other complexities, well, then that's when you have a business. And we do this for her, but we also do this for agency owners, for other people, almost completely done for you. So you don't have to think about anything ever again, okay, when it comes down to the back end side of things. Now, that being said, like I said, it's not a pitch on my services. And the only thing I want to share with you also to end this video off is pretty much the total revenue. So the revenue was about 1.2 total, right? 1.2 million. But then 495,000 was profit. So quite high profit ranges, and that's including everything on the ad spend. Her cost per call went from 100 plus to 28. Great stats. Mostly what we're getting for almost all of our clients, by the way. Booked calls, we got 1,690 booked calls from AI powered ads. Okay. And like I said, if you think that's an insane amount, the amount we paid for these calls is absurd as well. I mean, we're paying like 10 euros per lead, which we think is on the higher end, but it's fairly low. And cost per lead in general, because we're also tracking like the new leads and the old leads, people that already been there, is very low. Like when you consider the amount of the cost per sale, it's very, very low. The return on ad spend was up to 22x on the top performing campaign. So one of our top performing campaigns was 22xing a ROAS. So you can imagine putting €1 in and getting 22 out. I mean that's insane, right? Like if I would tell you, give me €1, I'll give you 22 back, and I consistently give it back to you. Like that's how you make money. That's how you print money, right? So she went from grinding to grow her own business, to growing her own business, to running a coaching business that works for her. Easy. Okay. So, I mean, easy. It was a little bit of work, but it took some time to get there. So hopefully this video gives you a little bit of ideas. Now, the only thing I would ask for you, and what I want to hear from you, is what's the number one thing holding your agency business, or coaching business back right now? I told you as well, like I said, if you're an agency owner, you need to focus on two things. If you're not focusing on those two things, we have a big problem. If you're a coach, if you're not focusing on marketing and coaching your clients, we have a big problem. So do you have a predictable system? Are you struggling or maybe challenges facing with maybe sales or closing or getting the appointments or finding the leads? What are you struggling with right now? Let me know, and I will personally answer all of the questions that come down below and help you guys out as much as I can. So drop a comment below. Let me know what your biggest challenge is. I go through all the comments. I'll be responding to as many as possible. And if you found this valuable, make sure to stay connected for more breakdowns. I wish you an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.